Next question here is going to be encountering weather. So when we see a cloud, okay, the question I would ask is, you're flying along and you see a small cloud, what are you going to do? Okay, hopefully you're going to go around above or below that little cloud. Okay, if the cloud is small enough, it's only the size of this building, there's no way there's hiding an airplane inside of that cloud. Okay, you're going to pop out in about 2 seconds. Got it. But if you'll do that, now where do you draw the line? Okay, so even if it's just a small cloud, stay out of it. Okay, next question. If you accidentally find yourself in a cloud, what are you going to do? Okay, now we won't mention names, but I recently heard about a gentleman who is taking dual. They were staying below the clouds, so this is the clouds, and they accidentally, the student was looking down, doing whatever, and he allowed the airplane to fly up into the cloud, and he realized he couldn't see anything. And the instructor's like, lower the nose, lower the nose, lower the nose. And I would say the instructor should never let that happen, but nevertheless it did. So they lowered the nose, they got immediately out of the cloud. Okay, nothing bad happened. Okay, and the instructor is inspirated, the airplane is not, but nevertheless nothing bad happened. They were able to continue to do their pattern work. Okay, again, you're in Class G airspace, clear of clouds, so that means not touching the cloud. Okay, the next question is 500 feet below. Okay, most of us don't have a calibrated eye. So how do I know if I'm 500 feet below the clouds? Now, I had one gentleman on a check ride, and he kept getting closer and closer and closer, and I'm like, explain to me how you're going to determine when you're well, I'm going to climb up to the bottom of the clouds and I'm going to descend 500 feet.
Oh my goodness.
Didn't go well for him. True story. So if I feel like I'm close to that cloud, I don't know how far I am. Is I'm at 500, I'm at 300, I don't know. If I descend 500, I know I've got more than my 500. Okay, when you understand the purpose of that 500 is to protect me from someone descending out of that cloud. Okay, imagine an airplane coming out of that cloud at 2,000 foot a minute descent. 500 feet below it. I've got 15 seconds to see and avoid that person. You're like, oh, that's why Mary says, okay, stay well away from the clouds. Okay, now the next part of it is, what are you going to do if you inadvertently fly into a cloud? Okay, so I'm flying along. Now, I'll admit I've been inadvertently VFR and IMC 2 times in almost 50 years. Both times were at night. You can't see the clouds. One time I wasn't expecting it. I wasn't prepared for it, and it was ugly. The other time I was IFR equipped and qualified, the airplane. I was trying to go into a VFR airport. I knew that it was going to be sketchy. Okay, so I had a plan. But the first time I did that, yeah, it was ugly. Okay, so you fly into a cloud, what are you going to do? Well, if you didn't see it coming, you don't know the dimensions. Okay, most people want to instinctively descend. Now, that one I flew into went all the way to the ground. So if I'd have descended, I wouldn't be here talking to you. Okay, so you fly into a cloud, what are you going to do? We have to assume it was good weather behind you. So the first thing you do, you fly into the cloud, take a deep breath, count to 1. Why? Because we're going to do one thing, and we're going to do it 1 tick mark. Okay, so I'm going to verify my altitude. I'm at 3,000 feet. And I'm on a heading of 270. Now I'm going to do a little bit of arithmetic. What's the reverse course of 270? I can look down my DG and get the reverse course, or I can do the math in my head. I can do a number of ways, but the reverse of 270 is going to be 090. I haven't done a thing yet. Okay, so now I'm at 3,000 feet on a heading of 270. I'm going to start a turn. The book says not more than a standard rate turn. So my person who has limited IFR training is trying to look at their heading, or look at the heading indicator and the artificial horizon and look over there at that turn coordinator, too much. Okay, look at your artificial horizon, give me 1 tick mark. Okay, so I'm in a 10-degree bank. That is less than a standard rate turn in virtually every airplane you're going to be flying. Okay, my Cherokee standard rate turn is usually about 15 degrees. It depends on the speed of the airplane. But if I'm in a 10-degree bank, I'll get there. So I'm going to start that turn. Okay, so I start that turn and I start losing altitude. Roll out of the bank, get my airplane stabilized again, go back into my turn. I start getting steep, go wings level, get the airplane stabilized, come back into that 10-degree bank. So all I want is 10-degree bank, 1 tick mark, and then I'm turned around. Finally. Okay, if I did it at a standard rate, it would take me 1 minute. If I do it in a 10-degree bank and maybe roll it out a couple times, maybe it takes me 1.5 minutes. Well, whoop-de-doop-de-doo. Okay, how long can I survive this? As long as I don't let the airplane get out of control, my limiting factor is how much fuel I have on board. And I better not be down to minutes. Okay, so that makes sense. So we've made that 180-degree turn, but we've been in this cloud for a little while. It's going to take us a little while to get out of it. Just be patient. Let it happen. Meantime, now's a really good time to reset that transponder to 7700. Now's a really good, if I'm on flight following, maybe I've already keyed up the microphone. If I haven't, it's a really good time to do so. Or if I'm not talking to anybody, turn into 21.5. Okay, so get some help. Ask for help. Okay, hopefully when I get here, after about 2 or 3 minutes, I'm going to pop back out of that cloud. And I'm like, never mind, I'm okay now. But stay with me. Okay, and so hopefully all is good. Okay, if I do decide to descend, I'm not going to do that until I know how low I can go. I'm at 3,000 feet. Okay, that part I know. What's the field elevation? Here in Vernon it's 1265. Over 50 miles west of it it's 1900. I don't want to come down too far from 3,000 down to 1900. And I don't, if I was the direction I was going, I don't know what the field elevation is where I am. So I want to be very, very cognizant of when I start that descent. And I would tell you do it in 500 foot a minute increments. 500 foot at a time. So I come down 3,000, coming down to 2,500. Okay, still in the clouds, still heading. And the other answer is the 3 C's. Climb. Why would I climb? So I have better communication. Confess. Tell somebody what I've done. Okay. And then comply. They've told me what to do. Do it. I've just told you to make that very, very shallow. So comply with that first. Okay. If fog just formed all the way around you, this 180-degree turn is not going to help you. Okay. So there may be some situations where you're in kind of a whole lot more trouble than you bargained for. But understanding most of the time we can do this. Why do people die? Okay, they get into this. Studies have shown, it's an old thing, 178 seconds to live. Person flies into the cloud, they panic. Okay, what happens when we do that? Okay, hopefully this is big enough, I'm not sure you can tell. But when I roll into a turn and I don't put any elevator in, that nose is going to drop. My lift is going perpendicular to the wing, so it's no longer going vertical. So my lift is going perpendicular to the wing, and then I start descending. So I'm already in this steep turn because I'm panicked. And then as I apply elevator to bring that nose up, it just tightens the turn. Okay, this is what we call a graveyard spiral. So what's going to happen is they put it in that graveyard spiral and they hit the ground. Typically, they're beyond the 90-degree point, pointed down. Okay, from a salvage standpoint, the wing that's sticking up and the tail feathers will still be reusable. But it's kind of a classic. You can see exactly how it happens. And If you ask your instructor, like say, I'd like to see a graveyard spiral. How do I fix it? You roll wings level, and then elevator. Get the wings level, and then we're gonna add some elevator. Do not, that's why I told you to take a deep breath, do your arithmetic, do those things, and make those decisions before you start making that turn. Okay, don't panic. I can tell you the stories about the people that panicked, and the panic will kill you. The airplane doesn't know it's in a cloud. The airplane could care less. Airplane does not know. So just keep, just stay cool and do whatever. And then later we can talk about aerodynamics. We can talk about a few other ideas, if you're desperate, what you can do. All right, we'll wait for the next session.